Well, hello there. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty okay. What have I got going on for you for today? Today, I'm getting together with Cricut to bring to you 5 quick and easy DIY gift ideas for this upcoming holiday season. I don't know about you, but I personally love to DIY gifts for my friends and families, putting that handmade, homemade touch onto them. Well, today I'm going to show you 5 quick, easy, and budget-friendly ones using your Cricut. For those of you who have a Cricut in your closet that you haven't used yet, that's just sitting on the shelf, well, guess what? You're gonna pull it out, you're gonna DIY with me, and I'm gonna show you how easily you can use your Cricut. So for now, I'm gonna quit my gabbing, let's jump into it, and let me show you just how easily you can DIY a gift using your Cricut. Let's get to it. First up, let's make a keepsake box. Who doesn't love one of these? Here we are in Cricut Design Space, and this is where a lot of the creativity and the magic happens when doing a project using your Cricut. Design Space makes creating easy. We're gonna start off by going up here into New Project. For this project, I'm gonna use a template. I find that using templates helps me kind of distribute my images evenly. So going on over here into shapes, I'm gonna click on the square here, and that's gonna bring up a square. I wanna size my square to the size of my box, the top of my box. So to do that, I'm gonna come up here to size. There's a lock here. I wanna unlock it. The width of my box is 8.5, and the height of it is 5.25. Now we have a template. I'm gonna go ahead and lighten this up. Since this is a keepsake box, I wanna personalize it, and I want it to be a bit special. And so the saying that I'm gonna add to this box is, memories are timeless treasures of the heart. So to do that, I'm gonna go over here to T, to the text, and I'm gonna use a couple of different fonts. This first font is going to be for the word memories. If you wanna change your font, you're gonna go up here to font. Just by clicking down on the drop-down menu, it's gonna bring up all of the fonts that are available with your Cricut Access membership, and you can see which ones are available if they've got the A here. I've got some that are bookmarked that are my favorites, so I don't have to search through them. The memories, I want it to be this Annie Lou, so I'm gonna click on that. It's brought up and changed my font there. I'm gonna add another text box here, and this text box is gonna say and, but I don't want it to be in the same font. So I'm gonna go back up to my fonts. I'm gonna click on my bookmarks to go to my favorite fonts. So for this one, I have a fantastic fonts that I like. This one is a fun one. And the next line is going to say timeless treasures. I'm gonna add another text box. I'm gonna need to make this just a bit smaller, and I'm gonna fix the sizes on everything here in a minute. But you can see how this template is actually going to help, so you don't have to know the exact sizes. You just put yourself a template up on your canvas, and it makes it a lot easier when creating. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball everything based on what I want it to be. Alrighty, I think I'm pretty happy with how this looks, but I feel like it needs a little something right here, and since the word heart is in here, I think I'm gonna look for an image of a heart. So just by going up to this image search, I'm gonna type in heart, and I'm looking for something similar to this. Yes, here it is. this one here, I really like this. So I'm gonna click on it. By clicking on it, it is then gonna add it to this bottom bar here. You can add multiple images and it will show you what is going to then be inserted into your canvas. If you change your mind, you can just X them out, just that simply. I just want this heart, so I'm gonna go ahead and click Add to Canvas. It's a bit too big, so by taking this box here at the bottom, I can go ahead and size my image very easily. Let's see here. I think that is a pretty good size, and I'm liking that. Yep, I think that that's perfect. You can see here that the heart is black and my wording is kind of a darker gray. I'm gonna cut all of this out in a cream vinyl. So I want it all to cut at once. So I need to color sync these. I want these to be the same color. If they're different colors, they're gonna be on different mats when it comes time to cut it. So by going up here to color sync, we can click on color sync. You'll see that there are 3 different colors here. We're not gonna cut the template. We're just gonna cut the lettering. So by taking the heart and dragging it up to this line here, we have now made them all the same color. I'm ready to cut this. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove actually the template. We don't need the template, we can cut that. I'm gonna highlight my image and my wording, and by doing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and left click here and drag the box to the size of my image. Once I let go of the clicker, it's gonna be highlighted. Then I'm gonna go down here to attach, and I'm gonna click attach. Now my whole image and wording is connected, so when I go to cut it, it's gonna cut just the way it is here to make it easier to apply to the box. I'm ready to cut, so I'm gonna go ahead and click Make It. I'm using the Cricut Maker 3 today. I'm using a mat, so I'm gonna click on mat. You would use without mat if you're using smart material. That way you don't need a mat. Since I'm using a mat, I clicked on it. I've got a 12 by 12 mat that I'm using, and I'm gonna click continue. You can see here that my word and my image is here on my mat, ready to cut, just the way we wanna put it onto our box. So we're ready to go. I'm gonna click continue. It's asking me to set my material. I'm not using artboard, so I'm gonna click over here to browse material. The vinyl I'm using today is this premium vinyl. It's a permanent gloss. It's one I use often, so by clicking the star, it's gonna bring it up to my favorites. And you can do that with several of them that you would be using. So I've gone ahead, I've clicked my vinyl that I'm using. I'm gonna click done. And now it is telling me to load my tools and my materials. Moving on over to the Cricut, I'm gonna power this up by pressing this button here. It's gonna calibrate. I'm gonna put my white vinyl on a light grip mat, which is a blue mat, and I'm gonna press these arrows here to load my mat. I'm gonna press play and it's gonna start cutting. Let me take a minute to tell you a little bit about this amazing machine. The Cricut Maker 3 both looks and feels like a more premium Cricut. The textures that are used on the outer plastic of this machine feel so nice. The Maker 3 is an excellent digital cutting machine, a polished product that has the potential to work with a wide variety of materials. It's also easy to use. The Cricut Maker 3 cuts up to speeds 2 times faster, if you can believe that, than past generations. But cutting isn't the only thing that the Maker 3 does. It has a few more tricks up its sleeve. Drawing, scoring, embossing, engraving are more of the amazing features that the Maker 3 can do. Not to mention those specific cuts enabled by some of the more exotic blade tools. And if you want to draw or write, well, you can do that too using the Cricut Maker 3. It's creativity at your fingertips with this amazing machine. My cut is done. I'm clear to unload my mat and start weeding. But before I weed, I'm gonna cut off this extra vinyl here that didn't have the cut on it. This is typically something I do before I place the vinyl on the mat. Not quite sure why I didn't do it this time, but nonetheless, I don't like to waste my vinyl, so I'm gonna cut it off because I'm gonna start weeding my image. Weeding means you're taking off the excess vinyl from around your image, and using one of these poker tools really is the way to go, and just kind of gently pull that vinyl up slowly. So if you see any of your letters or pieces lifting up off of, I guess, the protective paper, you can reapply them to that paper. Some transfer paper is needed for this DIY. I'm gonna cut a piece to the size of my image, remove the paper backing, and place my transfer tape right over my image. This is gonna help us, in essence, transfer the image and our vinyl onto this transfer paper from the paper that it's on, so we can then place it on whatever surface it is that we want to place it on. So in this case, we're putting it on a keepsake box. How many of you had an old Vans or shoe box that you had going through junior high and high school that you kept any of those notes from? You kept those tickets to an amusement park or a fair in? You kept those special receipts or pictures? I had one. I know my son had one, and I have always made my kids keepsake boxes. Well, Allison, she doesn't have one, and she's in 6th grade this year, and so I felt like this was a good time to make a keepsake box for her so she can put those treasured items that kind of have those fun memories for her in it, and years from now she can open up that box, go through it, and remember her childhood years. This wood box is the perfect size, and it comes equipped with a clasp, so this is going to be perfect for Allie's keepsake box. This is one by Art Minds. You're gonna pay under $5 for it, and Micheals does in fact still have a 20% off coupon, so make sure you use it. To this box, I'm gonna add some Minwax in the color of Early American Stain. I wanna keep that wood finish, and I feel like staining this is gonna be a lot easier than painting it, and again, I'm gonna get to see the wood grain in this box. And so yes, that's what I love most about using stain. That's why I use stain. Why do you use stain? Would you look at the color of this box? It's perfect. It couldn't be any more perfect. Now, when using a Minwax like the one I use, there is no greasy or oily residue left over, so I am good to go ahead and place my vinyl on my box. Using a Cricut scraper is really the easiest way to get that vinyl to adhere onto this box. Because this is wood, it's gonna stick nicely. I tell you, this is where using that template in Cricut Design Space to create our image really comes into play, because you can see just how perfectly my image and my words fit on this. There was no messing up on the cut and having to recut it because it maybe didn't fit the way I wanted it to. I tell you, my trick is always to use a template so you get it right the first time. To the inside of this box, I did add a piece of coordinating felt because I felt like it needed it, like it added to the box. Would you look at how quick and easy it was to make a keepsake box using the Cricut? So if you've got a Cricut, pull it out and DIY your gifts this holiday season. Who doesn't love a personalized journal? Look how easy this is. Back in Cricut Design Space, here in our not so blank canvas, you can see that I've done a bit of preparing because there really isn't much to this DIY because it's super easy to do. I did again do a template for my journal size so everything would be proportionate and I could go ahead and lay it out to see how it would look on the journal. I did be bright, be bold, be happy, be you with these balloons. Now I will tell you what the fonts are for each here. Clicking on Be Bright, this is the BFC seashell necklace. You can see that up here. And again, this is an Access, Cricut Access font. For Be Bold, I use the brushstroke, the Arab brushstroke, and this is in bold. For Be Happy, I used, what is that? Bayamo. And Be You is the same as the Be Bright. It is the seashell necklace. The image here is one that I found just by searching image. When you go over to images, you can search for an image like we did before, and I just searched balloon hearts. And there they came up. I scrolled down until I found this. This is an image that comes free with your Access membership as well. I'm ready to cut my image. I'm first going to go ahead and remove the template. I'm gonna highlight my images and I am going to attach them so it cuts just like this and I can very easily transfer it onto the journal. I'm ready to make it. I'm working on a mat, 12 by 12 mat that is. Press continue. Continue again. I'm using a premium vinyl. This one is a removable mat. And now it's time to load and let the maker do what it does. This here is the journal that I am using today. It's got what I'm gonna call a nice fake leather surface, which is perfect for adding vinyl to. There are several different types of journals. You've got lines and dots. Kayla likes to use the dots because she makes her own calendars. Micheals really is the place to get these because a lot of times you can buy one, get one 50% off, and you're gonna make that Cricut work for you. You're gonna make it pay for itself because you can make all of these budget-friendly gifts. You're gonna pick up several of these journals and you're gonna personalize them and look at how easy it is. I tell you, the vinyl really loved the surface of these journals, so it was super easy to do once I put that transfer tape on there. It really didn't take much work at all to get it to adhere to this journal. I gift these journals all the time. Here at the bottom, I typically will put the person's name just to personalize it a bit more. If there's a special saying that you have with that special someone, maybe add that to the cover of this journal and really add that personal touch to it. This wall decor sign, so easy. You're gonna pick up one of these wood wall signs, again at Micheals. You're gonna use your 20% off coupon and you're gonna pay about $7 for this sign without the coupon. I'm gonna go in with some of Waverly's chalk paint in the color of cashew, and I'm gonna give this wood sign a good couple coats of this paint. You know the drill. I cut my vinyl out using the Cricut. The only difference is I'm using a brown premium vinyl instead of a black or white. And this vinyl is going to say, always kiss me goodnight. Now, instead of doing it in one long piece, I cut up my words so I could save on vinyl. That really is the key to me. Had I not broke it up, it would have ended up being a 24-inch piece of vinyl versus an 8-inch piece. Once I got my vinyl onto the transfer tape, I did cut down my pieces quite a bit just to make it a bit easier to place my vinyls, and I am using a ruler. I know it's not something I typically do, but when I am gifting something, I do use a ruler just to make sure that it is good and straight. Once I've got it in place, I'm gonna take that scraper tool and I'm gonna go over the top of that transfer tape, adhering the vinyl onto my wood plaque, and it's gonna come off super easy because it's on a painted wood finish. One of my favorite finishes to apply a vinyl to because it really adheres nicely. This plaque is not done. I'm not gonna go in with stitching, but I am gonna go in with a sponge dabber and add kind of a decorative edge using my new favorite brown paint by Apple Barrel, the chocolate sprinkles. Oh my word, that color is everything. It is such a rich espresso dark chocolate. I love it. And so it's gonna match perfectly with the brown vinyl. It's gonna finish off the edges of this plaque so nicely, and it's gonna add so much to this. Definitely use a sponge dabber. It's the easiest way to apply, I guess, a decorative finished edge, a painted decorative finished edge to a piece like this. Don't worry about it being an even coating. The more uneven it is, the more personality and character that it's gonna bring to your plaque. Those uneven painted decorative edges add everything to this plaque. Dollar Tree's got these oval wood beads. These are a nice, rich, dark brown that I think are gonna add even more to this piece. So I went ahead and strung a few onto some twine because I really wanted to add more of that brown and kind of have a hanger. You could use maybe a satin ribbon if you wanted to, but since I had these beads, I thought that these would be perfect, adding that rustic feel to it. And just that easily, we made a really nice decorative hanger for this plaque using these wood beads that you can get from Dollar Tree and just adhering it onto the back of the plaque with a ton of hot glue. I love how easy these are to make, and look at that. You can really get creative with these. Next up, how about a book bag, a personalized book bag? How fun is that? Going into Cricut Design Space, I just looked up a couple images that were in Cricut Design Space's image library. Feel good, good vibes. Those are two sayings that seem to be trending, and I think that this is something that Allie would like on, I guess, a canvas bag or a book bag. I'm good to go. Let's click Make It. It's gonna be on a mat. Continue. When working with heat transfer, there is an additional step that you need to take that you don't take when using a regular transfer premium vinyl. And that is with heat transfer, you need to come over here to this mirror tab. You need to click on that and it's gonna flip your image, making it look backwards, mirror imaging your image. And you want it to do that because when you go ahead and transfer this and iron it on to whatever material, bag, in our case, that you're going to iron it onto, it will come out in its correct form. And so before you even click continue, you do want to do that. So with this next mat, I'm going to do the same thing and click mirror image. And that's all there is to it. I'm going to go ahead and put my heat transfer vinyl on my blue mat. We're gonna cut it the same exact way. There is nothing different. Then I'll show you what we do with it after the maker has done what it's designed to do, cut us an amazing image. Heat transfer vinyl has a shiny side and it has a matte side. Premium vinyl and heat transfer vinyl are two different vinyls, so you wanna make sure that you're using the right vinyl when using something that you're gonna iron onto a surface. Now you're gonna place that shiny side face down onto the sticky part of your mat. I'm using a blue mat, which is a light grip mat. When working with a heat transfer vinyl, I always try to think of it as the matted side is the side that's gonna cut, to where the shiny side would be the heat transfer, the part that we're gonna run the iron over that's gonna protect the vinyl, and then we can peel it up. Look at that. This is the side that cut. When you flip it over, it is in its right form, and this is the side we're gonna iron on to these amazing canvas bags that you can find at Micheals. These are in the $1 to $5 bins that Michael has there by the registers. They come in several different colors. I picked them up in black and white. Look how easy this is. We're gonna go ahead and place our vinyl down onto our canvas bag with that transfer tape in between, I guess, the vinyl and the bag. I'm gonna use my EasyPress for this. I'm gonna press the C, which is going to give me a countdown of 30 seconds. Once that 30 seconds is up, it's good to go, but because I'm making this a double-sided bag, I'm not gonna peel that protective transfer paper off yet until I've done both sides. So here I am on the other side, gonna press my C, and it's gonna count down for the 30 seconds. Can you use a regular iron? You totally can use a regular iron to get the job done and transfer your vinyl. I've got the EasyPress, so that's what I'm using. You're just gonna wanna make sure if you are using a regular iron that your steam setting is not on, that you are using a dry iron, and that is where you're gonna get the best results. It's not gonna melt your vinyl. After the 30 seconds is up, I do suggest letting your vinyl cool for about 5 minutes before you go to peel off that clear protective film there. Heat transfer vinyl is one of my favorite things to work with because you can apply it to so many different objects, like a bag. You can apply it to a pillow. You can apply it to a towel. It is so fun to work with, and it's easy to weed. It's easy to peel the protective film off of. I do want to reiterate though that if you are working with something that you are doing a heat vinyl on both sides of, you do want to keep that protective film on until you've got all of your vinyls applied, because if you run an iron over that vinyl, you will melt it. And so it's best just to leave the protective film on until you're done with your DIY, peel it off, and then you're gonna get an amazing book bag, canvas bag like this one. Look at how easy that is to do. You can really get creative with these and make it to suit that special someone you want to gift it to. For this last gift idea, I'm going to be showing you just how easily you can make a shirt like this using these no boundary shirts that you can get at Walmart for under $4. I pulled up this Be Happy, so let's make sure it's the right size. Yep, I went with 8 inches wide by almost 10 inches long, and I'm happy with this being on the front of my shirt. And again, it really is just as easy as placing your heat transfer vinyl image wherever it is that you want it to be on your shirt, whether it be on the front or the back. And again, I'm using my EasyPress. I really like using the EasyPress because 1, it counts down, and 2, it's a wider surface. So I find that it doesn't take as long to transfer my vinyl, my heat transfer vinyl, onto my surface as it does with an iron. But again, I will tell you, I used an iron for years before I had this, and it worked just fine. You're just gonna wanna really go over that vinyl several times. If you go to peel up that plastic and you're seeing that the vinyl isn't sticking, you're gonna wanna run over it again with your iron, and you do again want it to be a dry iron free of steam. And look at this, how satisfying is it when you pull up that protective film and your vinyl just sticks so nicely. And here I am making a quick and easy personalized shirt. Did I tell you, these are one of my favorite things to DIY. Now, if you're somebody who has a Cricut and you haven't taken it out of the box yet and it's sitting on a shelf or in a closet, you're gonna pull that thing out and you're gonna make it work for you. You're gonna make it pay for itself by making these budget-friendly DIY gifts for this holiday season. Now, if you're somebody who is on the fence about whether or not you wanted one, I hope that today's, DIYs and video helped you decide if a Cricut is for you.
I think anyone would love to receive any of these gifts. They're handmade, they were made from the heart, and you made them and personalized them for that special someone that you were gifting them to. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Thank you, Cricut, so much for sponsoring this video. I love my Cricut shirt that I just made. Look, how cute is that? And I DIY'd it. Bye. If you want to see more Cricut DIYs and how-tos on how to navigate Cricut Design Space and how easy it is, make sure to click on the video right over here and it'll take you to some of my Cricut DIY how-to videos. Bye for now, everybody.